To tackle accommodation challenges in Lagos, the state government built housing schemes, but this is being abused by house owners. The state government has warned that it will start penalizing house owners found guilty of renting out their apartments at exorbitant fees. According to a statement by the State Commissioner for Housing, Moruf Akinderu-Fatai, the government will wield the big stick on allottees who engage in sharp practices. This came after residents of various state housing schemes filed complaints about the high rents being charged by home owners. Mikhail.
To these people going to push for cheap housing options through the Lagos home scheme. A lot of them already had houses here and there. They just saw an opportunity and they grabbed the opportunity. Now, the essence of it is to provide affordable housing for our people. Because everyone knows that rent is killing in Lagos now. By the time beneficiaries of this housing scheme begin to put tenants in houses where we expected that they will be resident, by the time they begin to put tenants and are charging as high as those Shylock landlords out there are charging, it defeats the essence of the state government's housing scheme. It defeats the essence. The essence of it is for people to lay their hands on affordable housing with a very flexible payment plan, you know, that enables them, because the government is not saying pay for the house at once. They've made the payment plan very flexible so that these not so rich people will be able to live in those houses and be paying a little sum until they're able to liquidate the debt. But these people now are now making life unbearable. It's just like you are confronted by a landlord who harasses you every year, increases rent and all that. That's what they are beginning to do. And I remember that Fashola as governor even outlawed the idea of paying rent for 2 years. He said it has to be 1 year. All of this they were doing to make life meaningful to our people and to ensure that they achieve the aim of affordable housing. But look at it being abused. Now they are being warned that anyone found to have arbitrarily increased rent, because you can't stop them from putting people in those houses. If they are living far away, living somewhere else, and they don't want to stay there, you cannot force them. But you should not exploit the people that you have put in those houses. That is the message. And if they continue, they will lose the allotment that they got in the final analysis. And I think this makes sense. We have to find a way to stop Nigerians who enjoy profiteering and making dirty money out of the misfortune of other people. We have to find a way, whether it's through hoarding or other means by which the price of food items are going up, or through even house rent and all that. We have to find a way to deal with these people so that they don't continue to make life unbearable for their tenants.
Sikia, let me have you react to this.
Yes, my personal view, from time I've not always believed in this so-called low-cost housing built by government and handed over. As far as I'm concerned, the issue of low-cost houses ended with people who like Jakonde. That was those were the days where you see that governance was at its peak. when government builds low-cost houses, it gets to the rich people, the right people, not people that can afford it. What we have nowadays is that government build low-cost houses, in as much as they call it low-cost, is a high-cost, quote-unquote, officials in the government that buy them. It's no permanent secretaries, directors, name them, within the ministries. They are used cronies.
But some, you know, they did this raffle.
But that's what I'm
I
going.
know someone who won, who was lucky.
Yes. Let me, I'm just going somewhere. Most of the time, I'm telling you that there are just few lotteries that are done. Look at even the cost of houses. Let's say 45 million, 50 million. How many civil servants can be able to afford 50 million? And in a country where you cannot, in other places, other parts of the world, it's mortgaging. If you go to the US, you see somebody, oh, your friend is Bugai, I have a house in US. It's not that they drop $50,000 or $120,000 to buy those houses. They can just drop about $10,000 and it will be spread over maybe 10, 20, some as much as 30 years.
This one is 10 years.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know, but most often than not, you can see what has happened. Yes, some people got it. They rented it out. But at times you have to ask yourself, if you know what is happening in the country, at times you might not be able to blame them. I'm not trying to give them excuses. For goodness sake, my dear sister, as of yesterday, in Ojota, a bag of cement was 9,000 naira. A bag of cement was 9,000 naira.
There is no reason for a bag of cement.
That is what I'm saying.
It's pure greed.
Pure greed.
Of Dangote and
Total greed. Let me
the raw material that they use.
80% of it is locally.
At what point?
So at what point do you have
anything to be selling at 9?
Somebody said at the beginning of the year that was going to sell a bag for about 3,000. Was it 2,500 or 3,500? What happened?
The same person has
joined them.
And selling 8,000.
There are three major sellers of cement in Nigeria. There's Dangote, there's BUA, and there's Lavage. Even the Lavage is same 9,000. So you ask yourself, what is the problem?
I believe that the middlemen are behind this. Maybe they because they have a meeting with the minister. The minister has summoned Dangote and other cement manufacturers to come and explain. And I think that it makes sense to confront them. Because this is absolute nonsense. You cannot suddenly move. 10,000, no. You can't move. In our country, we allow a lot of things to happen. Nobody appears to be in charge, to step in to say, look, enough. That's why we are having this. And it's the same attitude that these homeowners. You bought a house, you are given 10 years to be able to pay for it. That is good enough. You are lucky. Everyone wanted this. I remember we had an HR person here who also competed for one of those houses somewhere in Songotedo and all that. It was meant to ease the pain of people. Even our company, when I was in the news, we were also introduced to one of those schemes. And how much did we pay? What we contributed at that time was barely even 2 million. You become a house owner based on a little sum of money that you contribute.
Gentlemen, we have a caller.
They expect you to pay the balance in 10 years. Well, these people are now making life difficult. You know, once you come in, I'm not saying it's wrong to put people there and you make extra money. But by the time you want to make too much money, it becomes unbearable for those people. Now they are going to report, see what they are doing to us. So at the end of the day, they will lose the opportunity. All right,
gentlemen, let's take Adekunle from Abuja. He's been waiting. Good afternoon, Adekunle. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, DKO, good afternoon, CKM. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say, unfortunately, like what DKO has just said, greed will not allow most of these policies to work. I was still discussing with somebody this afternoon, talking about this housing of the children in Abuja. In Abuja, here you see plenty houses empty. Somebody who went to government to go and
yes.
Or even some people even too weak, they want to be skyscraper on it.
Yeah.
You don't want to. The middlemen, because of our greatness, will not allow housing scheme to work. As far as concerned, government has no business. I was hearing 2 days ago that Asuwagi is launching 2,000. It's not going to work. Let government come up with a policy, strict policy, that, okay, oh, this is what we want to do. If you have 2 million in your account, come to government directly, come and acquire 200 square meter within 6 months, go and build. But giving it to third party is not going to. We are too greedy. It's not going to work.
All right. Thank you so much, Adekunle. Thank you for your contribution.
Well, you know, to an extent, I would not agree. There are, for example, government made promises to the Super Eagles players that won the Nations Cup in 1994. I'm aware that some of them have been given houses from the housing scheme that Fashola built. I'm aware because they told them, okay, where do you want yours? People like the goalkeeper then, what's his name? Our goalkeeper, Ike, the rest of them. It is from such houses that government has built, government houses, that they've given them. You know, government still has to, if government didn't want to get involved in housing, there won't be, what's this estate in Abuja today, the biggest housing? Gwarimpa estate. It was a government that decided to build Gwarimpa, and it's the biggest in Africa. So government can still help. Even in the days of Gaddafi, Gaddafi embarked on an ambitious housing plan that people benefited from region to region. We can't say because of the greed of people or some people, then government will not do what is right. Yeah. If we have that attitude, government will never be able to do anything. Let's leave those who are greedy. Government has to find a way to straighten them up. We must deal with them. We can't just resign to fate.
All right, gentlemen, let's move on to other interesting stories. Nigeria is inundated by rising cost of